Do different generations really hold different values, or is it all just a myth? When we dive into the heart of generational research, we uncover that each generation, Generation X, Generation Y, often known as Millennials, and Generation Z, brings its own unique set of values to the table. These values not only shape their attitudes and behaviors, but also influence broader societal trends. Starting with Generation X, born between the early 1960s and the late 1970s, this group is often characterized as independent, resourceful, and self-sufficient. Growing up in a time of shifting societal norms and economic change, Gen Xers value stability, security, and work-life balance. They were the pioneers of the technological revolution, yet maintain a certain skepticism about the digital world. Transitioning to Generation Y or Millennials, born from the early 1980s to the mid-1990s, this cohort grew up during the rise of the internet and global connectivity. Millennials tend to value flexibility, innovation, and authenticity. They are seen as more idealistic, socially conscious, and more focused on experiences rather than material possessions. This generation champions diversity, equality, and sustainability, pushing for changes that align with these ideals. Then comes Generation Z, the digital natives, born from the mid-1990s to the early 2000s. With the internet at their fingertips from an early age, Gen Zers are tech-savvy, pragmatic, and highly adaptive. They place a high value on individuality and authenticity, often rejecting traditional labels and roles. Mental health and emotional well-being are significant to them, as is the need for rapid and transparent communication. Social justice and environmental issues are incredibly important to this generation, leading them to demand more from businesses and governments. Scene script. Despite these differences, there are striking similarities that thread through all three generations. For instance, each generation has shown a strong preference for authenticity and a disdain for what they perceive as artificial or superficial. Moreover, all three value the role of technology and connectivity, albeit to varying extents and in different forms. Each generation also shares a common desire for a better work-life balance and a healthier lifestyle, though the ways they achieve these goals can differ greatly. In conclusion, while Gen X, Gen Y, and Gen Z each hold distinct values shaped by the unique times they grew up in, they also share common ground on several important issues. These similarities suggest that perhaps the divisions between generations aren't as wide as they might seem. Instead, as society evolves, so too do the values across generations, blending old beliefs with new perspectives in a continuous cultural shift. Thus, understanding these dynamics not only enriches our perspective on generational differences, but also highlights the interconnectedness of human values over time.